Hi, it's 1010, the navigator, and I want to discuss something real quick. I just want to get my thoughts out about this because there is talk in the Anunnaki and Draconian arenas that they were the ones, one of these particular extraterrestrial species brought the moon with them to the planet Earth. And I want to point out that if you go and you do some research, there are articles, there are Greek philosophers, there are a lot of people in the scientific community that do believe that there was a time when the Earth was without the moon. And you can look at Democritus and Anaxagoras. I think also it is when the Greeks actually first started, they were the ones who were understanding more and more about the moon. Okay, so the first mention of the moon throughout history was in 4000 BC. And then some say it was 5000 BC. Okay, and there was a time when the Romans were questioning that there were Arcadians of Evanders following the so-called pre-lunar people that lived here on this planet. Now, the moon is also highly important to the Jupiter and Saturnian people. Okay, and if you follow my channel, you know that there are two predominant extraterrestrial species that came here once their planets were destroyed, and I believe they brought the moon with them. Now, the moon is so significant in their feast days. It's a marker. It is possible that the moon makes this place more habitable for their species, and the humans on this planet were able to evolve, or I should say, able to work with the moon, all right. But I want to point out a couple of things. Yes, if we didn't have the moon, the tides would be affected. If we didn't have the moon, supposedly it would affect the tilt on the planet, causing wonky weather. If we didn't have the moon, women's menstrual cycles, wouldn't be as bad as they were, because there are articles and scientific facts that a woman's menstrual cycle goes along with the moon. And there are some that say that it doesn't. But I believe that the moon does affect the woman's cycle. And that is why we have as many issues as we do today. It is not biologically possible, or if you want to look at it from evolutionary standpoint, the ability for us women to go to the store and have these conveniences to help us maintain, normal everyday life activities, it was not possible back then. And I'm sure they had ways of, coping with this. But I do believe that prior to the moon coming here, women most likely were spotting, and the moon directly affects the woman as well as it does to the tides and the weather here. But I read that if the moon wasn't here, or if it was destroyed, our planet would still go on. The sun, we need the sun. That is the main life bringer here. If you look back in history, there is an opposition to those that worship the moon and those that worship the sun. Now, if you're from this planet, it's most likely that you worship the sun because it's indigenous to this planet, the moon worshipers. And you do see moon worship later on because the moon wasn't always here. And this is just my take on this, guys. Okay, I'm just putting my thoughts out here. So the sun being here, and you can look and see it predominantly, and I've shown you with evidence that the moon is very important to the Jupiters and as well as the Saturnians. Sun worship is forbidden to them. But the sun, in essence, that is the life bringer to this planet. So without the sun, we would be in trouble here on this earth. This earth would not survive. It would die off. But without the moon, it would still survive. And I know it's difficult because we see that the moon has, for us, has always been here. It's always been a part of our everyday life. And what's really odd to me is that the sun is supposed to be the greater light, but the moon can be seen during the day and the night. So I really am starting to think that the Jupiters or the Saturnians or both, they brought the moon here with them. And it has affected our planet, and we can see that. And we've just become accustomed to how it affects our planet. I'm sure there's things that I'm missing here, but for the most part, this is my hypothesis, and this is where my mind is going towards this. And again, you have moon worshipers, those being the people that go by the moon, being the Jupiters and the Saturnians. And I'm not saying that there are other cultures that don't worship the moon, but the moon became a part of culture later on. The sun, you can go back even further than 4000 BC and see the worship of the sun. So that is all I have for today, everyone. I hope you're having a great day.